In a change of events for both Oklahoma and Missouri, heading into what I'm thinking is a grudge match between Missouri and Oklahoma, you're going to be without a couple of stars if you're either. So, my goodness, man, I'm looking at this and I'm asking straight up, does it matter more that Missouri will be without Brady Cook at quarterback or that Oklahoma will be without Jovantae Barnes at running back, as Oklahoma is getting back Deion Burks? And I'm going to say this is a net positive if you're an Oklahoma fan, and it's a negative if you're a Missouri fan. It's a positive for Oklahoma for obvious reasons. Deion Burks is the best player Oklahoma has on its offense, and there is a good argument for him being the best player on either side of the ball for Oklahoma, whereas that's just not true for Missouri. The best player on Missouri's roster, by some margin, is Luther Burden, who many people believe is the best receiver in the entire SEC, and as such, one of the best receivers in all of college football. The thing that I think I would be stressing out about if I was Missouri would not be what Luther Burden is going to do or not do, and it certainly would not even be what Theo Weiss is going to do or not do. It is going to be what the hell is Drew Pine going to do as his quarterback at Missouri, given what Drew Pine showed in his last outing when it was clear that Missouri was going to be without Brady Cook for what amounted to a 34-0 shellacking by Alabama. So for those of you that need the refresher, and I'm sure Missouri fans don't, Drew Pine finished that night 6 of 12 for 42 yards with 3 interceptions. On the positive side, he wasn't sacked. And it turned them into a running team. Like Marcus Carroll carried the ball 17 times, and Jamal Roberts carried the ball 17 times, and they combined for about 151 yards on the ground, which is not great. It's not terrible. It's good. It's about 4.5 yards per carry. But if you're Oklahoma, you know that, and you believe that your defense is at least as good as Alabama, even if many Alabama and Missouri fans don't think so. That's the kind of talent that Oklahoma has on that defensive side of the ball. They can hold your run in check, and they can more or less run with you on the outside. But if you ain't got no quarterback that can provide service to these outstanding wide receivers, then you really are going to have to rely on guys in the trenches. And this is where it's going to get fun, because I outlined this on Sunday, but I will do it once again. Kaden Green was once at Oklahoma. Kaden Green basically went on the Oklahoma Breakdown podcast and said he demanded more money as he was basically packing up to leave. If you believe the CEO of Name, Image, and Likeness Collective at Oklahoma that was paying Kaden Green for his services, they were prepared to pay him like an All-American offensive lineman, which is, at Oklahoma, not insignificant. And apparently Missouri was ready to go above and beyond that, or even let Oklahoma match. But it felt like Kaden Green was already out the door. I think there's a couple of things that come into play here. Number one is, I think we're dealing with a dude that doesn't understand that these things can happen on a timeline that is specific to you. Probably felt pressured, probably felt rushed, probably did not get the kind of sound advice that we would like to see a young man like himself get. Because one of the things that I think is underspoken about when we talk about name, image, and likeness, I know how many people hate it. I know how many people don't like the way that college football is going. I get it, but be real about this. It's here. It's not going anywhere. It's staying. One of the things that is under-discussed is this is the first real negotiation that these professional athletes are going to go through. They're going to get better at this. They'll get better at it by the time they get to the National Football League. They'll get better about it when they are going into their second or third or fourth NIL deals, when they choose to transfer, if they choose to transfer. But the first time you're going through this thing, you're learning all the time. Like, everybody wants to get it right their first time. Who doesn't? But you're going to come away from that situation knowing that you probably could have done something differently, or that you would have gone about it differently. For many of us, the best way to look at this, I think, is marriage. Half the people in the United States are divorced, get divorced. I'm one of them. Says something about me. It's happened twice in a decade. So it's not for lack of trying, but it is because you want it to work. And perhaps it doesn't work for reasons that don't have anything to do with you. And perhaps it is everything to do with you. But how you amicably separate matters, right? There's a reason why nobody at Oklahoma misses Lincoln Riley. It's not that he left for USC. It's how he left for USC. That's the issue. You can say the same thing about Prime for leaving Jackson State to go to Colorado. It's not that you leave. It's how you leave. People remember how you treat them. And if you ghost someone, if you just disappear, if you don't let them see you anymore and you decide that they are the worst thing that happened to you and then you tell people that, they're going to hold a grudge. And it doesn't feel like this was an amicable separation for Kaden Green, Oklahoma. Now he's on that offensive line. Now he's going to have to go in the trenches against guys that remember him going out the door in December 2023 and guys that probably got to know him pretty well. And I'm sure when they speak, they'll be respectful and they'll be knowledgeable and they'll say, hey, look, I wish that dude well, except when we play him. But, I got to know him doing this, that, and the third, and it'll be fine. But when you got to strap on, you got to hit people. Anything you can do to try to get yourself to that Alvin Mack space of you robbed my mama, I'm going to get you back. You're probably going to do that. And there are dudes at Oklahoma that are built that way. You got to be to play defense. Defense is the hardest thing to do in football. You don't know much. You got to go on everybody else's count. You got to react to what they are doing, and then you somehow got to beat them to a spot that they already know they're going to. Any edge you can give yourself, you're going to. So don't expect Oklahoma to pour one out for them not having Brady Cook, the number 24 team in the country. Look, that's also no disrespect to Missouri. Y'all should not be the number 24 team in the country, and I think many of you know that, right? Like it's as simple as you could put Vanderbilt in that spot. You could put, my goodness, you could. Am I going to say this? Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm going to say this. You can put Navy in that spot before you can put Missouri in that spot. I've seen more from Navy. I know they got the crap kicked out of them by Notre Dame, but the season they're putting together is pretty outstanding. And frankly, Army needs to be looking at maybe 10 teams, but certainly Missouri going, what the hell are you doing ranked in front of us? It's a good point. It's a very, very good point. And now you're going to go into this thing as the number 24 team in the country without one of the guys that makes you even close to that ranking in Brady Cook, because Drew Pine ain't it. We synced it. It ain't it. Maybe he returns to the form that he kind of sort of showed at Notre Dame, kind of sort of showed at Arizona State. It's possible, with a week off and a week to prepare for Oklahoma. It's possible, but I don't think it's likely. That's the thing. For Oklahoma, it is an opportunity to get to bowl eligibility and to do it over the dead body of a ranked opponent. I was not impressed by the folks that decided to, point out to me that, I just wanted to say that Oklahoma has an opportunity to get a ranked win. Well, it is an opportunity for Oklahoma to get a ranked win. On the road, I might add. At a place where, Missouri have been geared up for this. This is about new SEC versus new-ish SEC. This is about what Missouri has historically done against Oklahoma, which is lose often, all the time, to what they have recently become. Pretty damn good football program. Now you get to measure. You get to measure the new money versus the new-ish money. Somebody over here got 7 national championships, though. Somebody over here has won like 14 Big 12 championships. Somebody over here has played in a national title game in, the past, century. 50, 10, 20 years, somewhere in there. I take it back 2008, right? So not 10 years, but you get my point here. I just wanted to get out here and tell you, I think Brady Cook not playing is going to affect them. I really do. I think that getting Deion Burks is going to be better for Jackson Arnold. It's going to be better for the run game. And Lord help me if DeMarco puts Taylor Tatum back there and that boy fumbled the football again. That's what I'm going to say about this. If you give that boy the football and he puts it on the floor, I'm on your neck.